Manager here at Deep Cognition, and I'm joined today by our CEO, Mandeep Kumar, and the co-founder and CEO of Soft Freight Logic, Ikram Reyes. So today we're going to discuss technology within the logistics industry and how data entry automation can improve your company. So let's jump right in. So, Ikram, what are some ways data entry can be eliminated?
Well, Anna, we've listed down 4 main things we've seen that data entry can be eliminated through. So let me start by quickly summarizing each one just to give the audience a bit more depth into what each of these technologies do. So you have starting off with integrations. So there are 2 types of integrations we've seen. One is where niche softwares provide out-of-the-box integrations. So examples of this is CargoWise, where they've integrated with the carriers, air and ocean. They've integrated with customs in certain countries. Then you also have other softwares like CargoGuide, CargoSphere, which again have provided integrated solutions through their platform so that it eliminates data entry. So that's one which we've seen predominantly in the market. The second one is robot process automation. A short form is RPA. And basically what that does is it mimics human actions. So imagine that you have an Excel sheet or a Word file, and you would like to capture some of that data and enter it into your ERP. So what you would do with the robot process automation is run the software, program it to capture the data fields, and then log into CargoWise, and then enter that data on your behalf. So again, it eliminates the need for you to do it, and you have a robot that does it for you. So again, we've got a different demo or a different webinar on it, which is available on YouTube, which the audience can see. And please feel free to type on the chat box in case you would like that link shared to you, where we'll share that again directly to you. Thirdly, we've got optical character recognition, OCR again for short. Again, it's a technology which basically, if I have to summarize it, acts as a human eye. So the software captures the data of a PDF document or an Excel sheet and gives it back in a data format which can be used in an application. So we've seen that being coupled with artificial intelligence. Again, artificial intelligence being an intelligence system where basically how it works is it's trained to process data sets, and then through repetitive data process mapping, it gets accurate and thinks for itself slowly as well. So again, Mandeep will talk a bit more in this area. He's a specialist, but in a nutshell, what we've seen with the elimination of data entry is one of these 4 being adopted as silos. So either companies doing integrations or they're doing robot processing. Certain companies try and adopt multiple technologies. And again, this is an area where Mandeep will elaborate is on this demo, how CargoDoc, the solution we will be showing a demo on, has integrated some of these components to provide the end application. So yeah, that's basically how data entry has been eliminated in the logistics field, Hannah.
Wonderful. So Mandeep, how did CargoDoc come about?
I think CargoDoc is a service which automates data entry. And when we looked at the problems in logistics and freight forwarders, we saw that there is a lot of human labor being used that could have been used for some different functions within the company. Just purely looking at a document and entering it into the CargoWise or any other ERP system. Why this has not been automated before is because it's a very complex problem from a computer standpoint. Building a rule-based system to look at a document and extracting the information from all these variations is very complex and it's nearly impossible. But recent advancements in AI technology, especially in computer vision and deep learning, has enabled us to build a AI that reliably can look at a document image, whether it's a PDF or a JPEG or PNG file, and just like human, not only identify the characters, but in addition also figure out how the information is structured. For example, where is the invoice number, where is the port of entry, and that's like one aspect of it. And then it can understand tables and tables without boundaries and things like that, eventually that whole document is then goes through a process of getting converted into a format that CargoWise can accept. So Cargo Doc solution actually is an end-to-end solution. Uh, it's it's basically out of the box. Very small integration need to be done, and then it get enabled on CargoWise system. So I think that was the main motivation, that there is so much manual data entry, which we felt that it's not a good use of human labor, and we have seen companies taking benefit in addition to kind of reducing their data entry load. They are saving quite a bit of money, and they are optimizing their operations. Um, so yeah, I think it is to help companies remove the data entry burden in a nutshell.
So how does CargoDoc help?
I'll take this one, Hannah. So basically, yeah, CorkerDoc helps basically to build trust, right? So if you are a freight company or logistics provider, you would like to build trust with your client, and what generally brings trust to the table is accuracy and giving things on a timely fashion to them. So again, just to elaborate this area of how trust can be built, I thought we'll talk about a few roles in an organization that it can benefit. And again, based on the audience here, you could be from one of these departments or supervising multiple of them. But just in our opinion, where we've seen it being helpful is if your sales, you can build trust with the client by talking about the technology being used, like CargoDoc and data entry elimination as part of your sales process, just to gain trust around for new clients and existing ones, that you're a digital forwarder and you are using sophisticated methods to give them accurate data. So I would see that as a way to differentiate yourselves during a sales pitch to the client. So that's one way we've seen it helpful. The second is for IT personnel. We've seen it helpful to them because then they participate with the business. So earlier, IT was more of a back-end support team. Today, they're in the forefront. They also are interacting with the client's technical arm, so that they can connect and integrate with the clients, and again, explain to them in technical terms when required how it gets done, and build that trust. Again, building towards being the digital forwarder is to have um, a, a support role of the IT team with your clients as much as possible. So again, explaining what you do, like with softwares like CargoDoc, gives them an idea into what tools you're using in your business. The third one is operations. So that's where the biggest benefit is around productivity of the staff. And again, the demo will highlight later on how we're going to do that. But otherwise, again, the benefit of it for operations is that you can then have them learn another skill in terms of learning air freight. If they're ocean freight centric, you're freeing time for them, so they have liberty to play with time and learn new skill sets, including things even like if you're a tariff team, renegotiate contracts with customers. So it gives you a whole lot of time to spend on your client also. So that's where the operational benefits are. And finally, for finance, the benefit is you get sanitized data. They can then use it to perform their reporting functions, and also extend it towards what we've seen recently, business intelligence, business analytics, which will again empower the business to make decision making swiftly. So these are some of the ways we've seen the elimination of data entry helping and supporting the different functions in the organization.
So what are some cost benefits to CargoDoc?
Yeah, I take this. One of the things about AI is many times AI can improve process and reduce cost, but uh, it's sometimes difficult to measure the improvements. But the good news for systems like CargoDoc is the day you put this system in place in your company, you start saving the money immediately. And in fact, we have built a calculator to see how much money you will save. Hannah, if you can switch to ROI calculator. And different businesses will have different number of documents, different types of document. and different number of pages within those documents. So I encourage you to go to cargodoc.ai, and then if you scroll all the way at the bottom, and you can enter the information of your current operations on the left side. And this particular ROI calculator is for commercial invoice to customs form entry. Although you could just use the, you could still use the same concept to enter, other type of number of pages of other type of document as well, and you get the calculations how much money your organization can save. So in this particular example, we are looking at 2,000 shipments per year, basically, and then each of these shipments are accompanied by one commercial invoice of 2 pages, and that means the total 48,000 pages are being entered into the system. And our experience has shown that for a human to enter all the line items and to do all the detailed entry, it takes about 50 minutes per page. And if the data entry workers pay is about $12 per hour, and this will vary based on which country you are in, so you can always modify this. Then you can compute if that is done through a cargo doc, how much money you would save. So Hannah, if you press the compute button, and on the right side you would see currently in this particular example, the company is spending $144,000 on the data entry, and then cargo docs pricing is 60 cents per page. That means total fees are 28,800. Even when AI is extracting it, sometimes we can provide an option that before the data is entered into the system, a person can have a just look at it. So we have taken that amount of time as a manual labor still, just to kind of validate the output, not necessarily doing the data entry. 5% of the total original labor cost, so that's about $7,000. So the new cost structure would be with CargoDoc, you would be saving $108,000 and only spending $36,000 to enter 48,000 pages every year. So I would encourage you can go there, put the numbers that your organization has to see how much you can save. And another beautiful thing about this solution is it just takes a week to implement. So it's pre-integrated with the CargoDoc. We have enabled multiple use cases, and the day the system is deployed, you could do a test run for a week or so, and then start saving on your operational cost of data entry. Back to you, Hannah.
Of course. So just a reminder, if you have any questions, we will be taking them at the end. So put them in the chat and we will address them at the end. So how does CargoDoc work?
CargoDoc works, it's really simple process. So we have our superstar engineer, Prashant. Prashant, can you share your screen? All right, so we are over here, and here you can see an example commercial invoice. Now you might say this table looks very nice. I have a commercial invoice that has like a weird tables. Believe me, we can handle the most complex commercial invoice tables that are available, no boundaries. Row items are overflowing, HS codes are embedded in the description. All these complexities we have already addressed with our existing customers. The things like origin is written as India and France, whereas CargoDoc take two-letter code. So the mapping of those, these strings to the codes is also automatically done inside. You don't need to do anything. So we could extract this table, validate that totals are correct with each line item total. We can also validate other things. For example, total always has to be a number, right? can't be something else. So we have a lot of intelligence built in, and after so we will take this, the system will take this information and then enter in the cargo doc. Here is just a tab where the information will ended up in the brokerage tab. Right now it's empty. The way to provide the document to the system is we just attach it in the e-docs with a kind of predefined document type. In this case, it's OCR. As soon as you attach a document, a trigger is automatically, we would configure a trigger that would automatically send this document to our AI server. And our AI server will start processing that document. And once its processing is done, it typically takes 30 seconds or to 1 minute. You will get an email, something like this, with a link in it. And clicking on that link will take you to a validator software. This is the same software which I said we still take 5% of the original manual labor. Here, you could actually have a, go through this. You can see the dates and invoice numbers are correctly, all the fields are correctly identified. You can also perform corrections if required right over here, either by typing the information or by just, dragging or clicking on a text. So it's very easy. You can also look at the line items. One thing to tell is this, irrespective how the line items are originally there in the document, you always get this normalized table. So we normalize all type of invoices with this type of line items. So here also you could actually modify if you want to, if there is something wrong. Usually, once we train our AI on your documents, we usually don't see mistakes unless the document quality is bad, very bad. So once you are done validating, you will press simply a validate button and then publish button. Publish button will take the information extracted here and then insert it into the CargoWise. And if the insertion is successful, which is almost 100% of the time, you will get an email confirming that it's successfully, information successfully inserted. And you can go to the CargoWise software also and see that information is there, header fields are there, total, all the information that is extracted, and then the line items you can see as they were in the invoice, they all came in, and the country codes are also correctly mapped. And this is very flexible system. We have ability to map, per client basis, they can provide us mapping table if there is something weird. So it's very flexible system. It's not, it can handle many different types of situations. Yeah, I think that's it. So this is as simple as just attaching the document, right? And just looking at the output and pressing 2 buttons. So that's all it takes for getting to this point. Yeah, and that concludes our demo. Thanks, Prashant. Back to Hannah.
So what are some use cases we've seen from CargoDoc so far?
Well, so Hannah, what we've been doing with CargoDoc is trying to apply them again to different departments. We've seen the need and the interest coming from different divisions of a business. So we try to cover a varied range of it. Starting off with finance, accounts payable invoices can be run through CargoDoc, where we've seen businesses do it in 2 ways. Number one is if there is no accruals in the system, we can program it to populate the accruals in CargoWise in the billing tab. If they are already populated, we can then build logic to, or we built logic to match it. And if their totals match, post. So again, eliminates the need to do data entry or even validate and post vendor invoices for finance teams. So that's one way for the finance teams to benefit. The second one is for the commercial teams, rate management. So again, if it's an Excel sheet or a PDF, we can extract data and populate that tab. We've also done this through robot process automation. And again, in the video I mentioned early on, it shows and demonstrates that. We can share that link again to anyone interested. So please do just mention your name in the chat box in case you would like to see that demo again. The third one for operations teams, shipment creation for freight forwarding operations. So if typically a client sends you a shipping instruction in their format, you need to rekey in that data to create a house airway bill or a house bill of lading or even a master shipment. So again, we're able to extract that data and populate those tabs in CargoWise. Customs entries, you've seen in detail the demonstration of how we're doing this. And again, be it Australia, US, South Africa, UK, these are countries who've deployed the solution on customs entries, and we've got strong domain knowledge in custom requirements and clarification. So again, I'm sure a few of you might have questions about it. Please do chat in the box, and we'll try and answer some of them. The final one is work in progress, is warehouse orders and inventory management. So again, typically customers send these through PDF or Excel sheets, and you have teams keying in stock. We are again able to populate those tabs in CargoWise using CargoDocs. So these are some ways we are eliminating data entry for our customers. And this is the basically the deployed roadmap of the application as well.
Wonderful. All right. Do we have any questions?
All right, so yeah, till the questions come up to the audience, yeah, in case you would like to run through a demo again, please do reach out to us. Our website, cargodoc.ai, has all of this information on it as well, in case you would like to see it. There are video demos of what we've shown you right now on the website as well. So in case you would like to re-watch the video, we'll also email this link out to the participants, but it's a recording out available on the website. Yeah, we've got Casper mentioning I've got one. So hi, Casper.
Hi, Casper speaking here. I'm not sure if I miss some points, but I have questions about how do you receive our clients' documents, and how do you know which shipments it belongs to? I mean, if we in first end they get the documents and should forward to you, I think we have. I'm not sure how much time we're saving at this.
Right. So typically, let me say that how we onboard a client is that, well, they do everything themselves in CargoWise. We just set up a workflow with them, and we trigger out the document when it's e-docked. So in the demonstration, we first discuss with you how you're going to e-dock it. So either you will define a document type like OCR, or if it's for a particular customer with a particular mode, so let's say ABC customer for exports, we will set up the workflow and trigger action in CargoWise with you to shoot that out to our server. And as long as your team is using eDoc, we would then get the file in our FTP server where the AI is running this system.
Okay, so we will do the upload to eDocs.
You will do the upload to eDocs, yes.
Okay. Okay.
And we will implement a workflow template to extract that eDoc into our server and process it.
Okay. I think that was it for me.
Okay. And just connecting the dot back to how the data. Yeah, sorry. Please go ahead.
Yeah, is it capable of reading Spanish or Portuguese or other languages?
Yeah,
right,
I think we handle pretty much all languages, Greek, Roman letter based. Yeah, we have customers in Greece using even different alphabets, no Roman alphabet, so it's easy. Only thing we probably don't support right now is Chinese, I think. But other than that, Chinese and Japanese and Korean. Other than that, we have support.
Does the other language have a high percentage of accuracy as well, or is does it decrease a little?
Because we train the system on the documents, so we achieve any document we train it on, we achieve very high accuracy. So it's not just you're just sending the document to the AI and asking it to process. What we do ended up doing is that we basically train it on the unique formats and achieve very high accuracy, like 98% plus for those documents.
So if I have a document that's not reading correctly, I have to raise an incident or a request to you guys to improve that format, or does it do it automatically when I do the validations?
No, I think the validation doesn't give us enough information to the AI to actually train, because AI needs slightly more detailed labels. So our team would actually train that. Typically, what it happens is you would give those historical documents beforehand, before even we turn on the service, so you won't face that issue. But let's say you got a new type of new format of document, it might actually work out of the box, up to 90% accuracy, 90, 85. But typically, what we have seen is customer wants us to train it on that format, and it's a very easy process for us. We label and train, and next day we will update the AI weights, so that document will start working at pretty much full accuracy.
So is there a cost to retrain if the document is a new document, a new format?
Yes, it's a $100 cost for a new format.
$100 for 20 formats.
No, for any new format. Like if you have a unique format.
For any new format. Okay, so any new commercial invoice, any new packing list, any new customs information, it's $100 for that document, not a set of documents, right?
One time. No, that's just one time, by the way, during setup.
Right. One time. But if I have 100, if I have like, don't go to 100. Like if I have 15 new customers that I'm onboarding with different formats, and I need the invoice packing list and an additional document, it would be 300% on each one of those. One-time fee on each one of those, but that's what I would be paying on the setup, right?
Right.
Okay, got it.
So again, on pricing specifically, it all depends on volume. We've just given some indication prices. We wouldn't want that to be a stumbling block, because we see ourselves as an enabler for the industry. We would like to help the businesses transform. I think if you're a client that has been working with us, you would see that in our approach and our way of servicing clients. So again, if the volumes are high, you can always sit and discuss what's a stumbling block and make sure that price is not the factor to stop going ahead with something like this.
Right. Thank you. My questions have been answered.
Right. Thanks, David.
Do we have any other questions?
Hi. Hope you all can hear me.
Yes. Hi.
Hi. You was elaborating regarding a finance that accruals.
Yes.
Can you re-elaborate it if you don't mind?
All right. So, well, basically, to start the process, maybe you have vendors that are sending you invoices, and you need to book those invoices in CargoWise. And let's put a situation where you are the finance team, all right, and you have an issue where your operations team is not keying in accruals. Let's take that hypothetical situation, and that's not allowing you to invoice the client on time, or you don't know what the business is doing. So in essence, what CargoDoc would do is you run it through the process, which we've talked of. The data gets captured, and we can populate the accruals for you, right? So then if you are finance, you can view those accruals. You can question why aren't they invoiced out yet, and initiate that from a proactive way in your business if you're finance teams. Even if you're operations team and you would like that resolved, the same logic applies. Scenario one. Scenario two, let's say that your team is having accruals put into the system, and when they're creating the job or when the quotation has gone out, they're auto costing, as an example. Again, another feature of CargoWise, and you're happy with that. So then where does the value add come for your finance team? Finance teams then generally get the actual invoice. They cross-check and tally it manually one by one, and they book and convert the accrual to cost, right? And manually post that invoice into CargoWise. So again, if you use CargoDoc with the logic we built in with it, we can match the accrual, and if the totals match, you can give us the leverage. Even put a leverage percentage is also possible, where we'll then post, again eliminating the need of a person or a finance manager or an assistant double checking all those invoices and posting. So again, saves time from the team having to do that activity. So that's how those two features or benefits work for the accounts payable invoices.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome. All right, so guys, thank you very much for attending. We've reached 35 minutes. I'm just conscious of everybody's time and different time zones. So thank you very much for attending. If anybody has any questions, you can reach out to us by writing to us through email. You can put it on the chat box here. We'll keep the chat open for another 5 minutes or so. And if you know us, you can always directly write to us and inquire as well. So thank you for your time, and appreciate you attending. And we'll send out some resources to the audience that has joined today as a follow-up. Thank you very much.